أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي كان موجودا قبل حدوث الأشياء ويبقى بعد فناء الأشياء تفرد بالأولية والقدم ووسم كل شيء ما عداه بالفناء والعدم كما قال عز شأنه كل شيء هالك إلا وجهه وكل نفس ذائقة الموت وقال كل من عليها فان ويبقى وجه ربك ذو الجلال والإكرام والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنام سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى يوم الدين أما بعد فقد قال الله في كتابه الكريم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولتكن منكم أمة يدعون إلى الخير ويأمرون بالمعروف وينهون عن المنكر وأولئك هم المفلحون صلوات These are the last days of this Islamic year 1443 and next year is going to be 1444 and actually next week this month will be starting almost. So very few days are left for a new year, Islamic New Year. Although it is a new year, but we don't welcome the new year with celebrations. Rather, we enter to this month or this year or a new year with commemorations. Why? Because the most important event in Islamic history that had happened after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or from many aspects, if you look at it, is the most important event in human history, and this is Karbala, when the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was killed brutally, mercilessly, along with his family members, children, companions, and his family members, the ladies and the children were taken captive. Of course, this event, which is we remember every year and we commemorate every year, is something that we have to not just remember it, but convey the message of that great sacrifice of Imam Husaini alayhi salam, the message for which he has offered that great sacrifice. Of course, Quran speaks about it. The Prophet, even before this event happens, he many times mentioned the importance of this event. Unfortunately, we see that many people, even among Muslims, they don't give much importance to this event. Rather, when we commemorate it, they have objections on it. It's a long story, long discussion, but in brief, see, we as the followers of Ahlul Bayt, we understand the truth. But what is our responsibility? Today I want to talk about it briefly. So what is our responsibility towards this important event and the sacrifice, and the greatest sacrifice ever in human history? You cannot find any example, other example, matching this. So it's really much less sacrifice. It is not just a claim because we follow them, but it is a truth because we understand that there are so many religions around the world, and every religion has some heroes who have sacrificed their lives for their religion. But the whole story of Karbala is very unique and special, very unique. Even until now, until today, see the followers of Imam Husaini alayhi salam, why they have this much patience for him. In the entire globe, you see the population of various religions. The Shia religion is, I would say, not very large in number compared to other religions. They are minority within minority. But when they gather in Arba'in, they mark the greatest and the largest gathering ever in the history and the entire globe. Largest. Why? Because everybody, whenever he is, you mashallah, everybody from this country you go, it's not easy to travel that long distance, but still many people go every year, many people go twice a year, and still they are not satisfied that much. They want to just go there and just keep going there and keep visiting Imam Husaini alayhi salam. Every year for 2 months, you just keep attending those majalis and doing matam and commemorating. Why? Because you know who is Imam Husaini alayhi salam. But when you see other people are not that much attached to him because they don't know him. The more somebody knows Imam Husaini alayhi salam, the more he gets closer to him. So what is our responsibility towards this important event that we do know how important it is? But is it enough that we know it and we commemorate and we arrange majalis and we just attend the majalis? Yes, this is first step. This is first step. This is good. But our responsibility, believe me, is more than this. You are living in a society which a free society, there is a freedom. You have a lot of opportunities. As I always talk about the land of opportunity. When you speak about land of opportunity, the whole earth is land of opportunity. The entire globe, it is Allah. Alam takun ardullahi wasi'atan. Allah's earth, Allah's creation is full of opportunities around the world, everywhere, not a place. But if you call any place land of opportunity, it's not just for dollars, it's not just for money. Land of opportunity for many things, especially spiritually. You have the opportunity to just present what you have. especially humanity needs it. Yesterday I was talking about how the humanity today is suffering and going to suffer. This is a warning from CDC and other world organizations, health organizations, and especially World Health Organization itself. The warning is that the humanity, the mankind, is facing in very near future the biggest disaster, health disaster, which is multiple times more than pandemic that we are facing and we are facing. What is it? It is mental health. Every human being is going to suffer and is suffering, but in few years it's going to be a kind of pandemic everywhere. So then people need peace. Peace of mind, peace of heart, peace in the society, peace at home, peace within themselves. Peace, peace, peace. So what humanity is lacking today is peace. And you have the vaccine for that pandemic of stress and anxiety that the World Organization is warning about, but you have it. You can come and say, see, don't worry, we'll give you something that you will feel peace. Peace of mind and peace around. And it is the name of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Originally, Islam is peace by itself. Islam, the word Islam means peace, right? So if you are a good Muslim, you are peaceful, and you will make sure that the environment around you will be peaceful. You are peaceful for your, once you say Assalamu alaikum, what does this mean? Peace from me for you. That's it. So you are peace. Every Muslim should be embodiment of peace. And he should be the ambassador of peace. And he should be peacemaker around. Muslim, this is Muslim. And today that, mankind, what is missing and lacking is peace. So we have it. And we have the formula. We can share it with people. We can give them the peace. And it is true Islam introduced by Imam Hussein alayhi salam in Karbala through his sacrifices. Of course you agree with this. But what is next? How we can do it? So we should not limit the benefits of the message of Karbala to ourselves. This is the bottom line. We should share it with others. Imagine when the pandemic started, everybody was waiting for a vaccine for this pandemic. And we were hearing that, oh, no, it will take a long time, and at least 1 year and maybe 2 years. And the news started coming that, oh, first, dose is ready. Everybody was happy. Imagine if pandemic continued and vaccine was not there, everybody is waiting for the vaccine, and a group of people or a company had those vaccines. And they used it for themselves, for their group, but they did not share it with other people. Although they have it in a good number, good stock, but they are not sharing it with other people. Imagine that. What would you think about such a group who holding the vaccines and not letting it reach to the people who really need that vaccine and they are suffering from pandemic, from COVID-19 or any pandemic or any, virus? what you will say? He said, they are really doing dhulm on all other people. And they are selfish people. They're keeping it for themselves. While they have it, they can share it. The same thing, actually we are doing it. We have something that really we can share it with people for peace, and people can really have that peace, but we are keeping it within ourselves, within these walls, and we say, Ya Hussein, only here. But we are not trying to introduce Imam Hussein alayhi salam and his message to other people. So our responsibility is this: Ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmati wal mu'izati al hasana. Call towards the path of your Lord through hikmah. What is hikmah? Wisdom. And we have the wisdom through Ahlul Bayt, through Quran and Ahlul Bayt, and Islam is wisdom. Other people are introducing Islam through terrorism, through violence, through, so many things which are defaming actually Islam. So we should come forward and say, no, this is not Islam, this is true Islam. So if you have a neighbor, if you have a friend, if you have a colleague, you can just introduce him. I have mentioned this story, I think, multiple times. But it's not bad to remind you again that I was in Minnesota. I was reciting majalis, and I saw a mu'min who was converted, American, who was sitting there. Every day, he would sit in my English part of the majlis, and then the second part would be in Urdu. He would keep sitting while other people who were just English knowing people, they didn't know Urdu, they would leave. But he would sit, keep sitting. And I asked him, why don't you go as other people go? He said, no, I like it. I like to sit. Why? He said, do you understand Urdu? Of course not. Then, why you sit? He said, just I love the names that you use, even in Urdu. Of course, in Urdu, you are going to say name. The name is for all languages, right? You say Hussein, I like it. You say Ali, I like it. I said, MashaAllah, this is great. Subhanallah. Our people should learn from you. It is thawab, half an hour. I didn't lose anything. Half an hour. I'm just listening to the words that you are using, the vocabulary that I know. I enjoy that. That's it. What I will do if I go somewhere else? I will sit here and listen. I said, MashaAllah, great. How you accepted Islam? So he said, actually, one of my friends was with me in the dome, and we would discuss about Islam and Christianity and other religions. And when I compared other religions and my own religion with Islam, I found that Islam is the best religion, and it makes sense. All the rules and laws of Islam make sense. If I ask why, I have the answer for that. So that was my attraction for Islam. So I accepted Islam. After accepting Islam, I started, studying about Islam. Someday I came across a story, an event that took place in Islamic history, and it was Karbala. When I read it, I saw that there are two people fighting each other, and one killed the other person, the whole family with the children. So one was Yazid and the other person was Hussein. I didn't know about them at all. I have never heard about Karbala because my friend told me about everything except Karbala. So I came to my friend and said, brother, thank you very much for introducing Islam to me, but can you tell me what Karbala is, what happened in Karbala, and why these two were fighting, and why this happened? It's a big tragedy. Why this tragedy? He said, no, don't worry about it. Allah is not going to ask you about this. This happened, it is past, and just forget it. I again continued my studies, and I found out many things important in this story, without which I cannot understand Islam. So I came back to him, said, please brother, tell me, who was Yazid and who was Hussein? He said, don't worry about Yazid and Hussein. Allah is not going to ask you. He said, no, tell me, was Yazid a Muslim? Was Hussein a Muslim? He said, yeah, of course, both of them were Muslims. They fought against each other. It's done, it's over, nothing to do with us. See the question, why? Because this person, he accepted Islam for what? Logic. Because of logic and reasoning. And he said the thing that I liked in Islam was logic. And he is now hearing an answer, a reply which is totally illogical. Don't worry. Why I don't worry? A big event happened in Islamic history. So he asked him a logical question. So this is a logical question. As I always ask you and you answer me. Answer this question. What? He said, is Yazid Muslim? Yes. Is Hussein Muslim? Yes. He said, are you Muslim? He said, yes. Am I Muslim? He said, of course. So my question is, if you don't want to answer other details, tell me when you invited me to Islam and you converted me to Islam, which Islam did you convert me to? Hussein's Islam or Yazid's Islam? Because I know they are not following the same Islam. Yazid's message is different, his ideology is different, and Hussein's ideology totally different. If he is a Muslim, a totally different Muslim. If he is a Muslim, totally different Muslim. Which Muslim you want me to be? Like Yazid or like Hussein? Tell me. Simple question. Simple question. He said he had no answer. He said, if you don't have answer, I have the answer. You called Yazid Muslim? You called Yazid Muslim? Oh my God. If you call Yazid Muslim, how can you expect me to accept such an Islam that Yazid was following? Tell me. But I'm a Muslim and I follow the Islam of Hussein. And if you don't want to tell me who is Yazid, see here. If you don't want to tell me who is Yazid and who is Hussein, let me tell you who is Yazid, who is Hussein. And not Yazid, I will tell you who is his father, who is his mother, who is his grandfather. And let me tell you who is Hussein, who is his father, who is his mother, and who is his grandfather. Here total Islam and here total kufr. How can you compare these two? So I actually decided my way, and alhamdulillah I am the way of Husayn ibn Ali alayhi salam. From that day he said, he told me directly. I'm not narrating, a story or narration from somebody else. I'm directly the person who heard him saying this. He said, from that day, I really started searching more about Hussein, learning both, and I just love him. And I sit, if you continue 2 hours speaking in Urdu, I don't know one single word Urdu, but I love just you when you say Hussein, you say Hassan. I love these 5 people. And of course you every time repeat the names. I love these names. I want to sit and hear these names. A story. But this is what actually reminds us our responsibility towards Karbala. Have to sit in majlis, all of you. Don't say this is English, this is Urdu, this is Pashto, this is Farsi, this is Arabic. You should not care about it much. Yeah, for the sake of learning, of course, we need your language, to speak the language you learn. But don't make it excuse to play outside. Or even recently a fatwa came from Ayatollah Sistani. When majlis is going on, you cannot use your phone unless you are finding the reference that the Moulana is giving to you, or you are doing something for the same purpose. But somebody is speaking, no, don't use your phone. Be attentive. So anyway, inshallah, we will be commemorating this year, and you know that year that is approaching. Inshallah, we will start with commemoration of the dhikr of Husain alayhi salam, but with reminding ourselves the responsibility that we have on our shoulders of conveying this message to the world in whatever capacity we can, using our social media, with knowledge, of course. We should learn ourselves about our Aimma alayhimus salam, and inshallah do the azadari the way that Ahlul Bayt wants us to do, and they're expecting us to do, and practice what we learn every day in majalis, and remember that and convey that what we learn to other people, inshallah. This way may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to do the best azadari this year, better than the years that passed.